Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Friday morning trading room. Hang on a second. We should get the screen share going on. There we are. Okay. If you were wondering what that other screen was, that's my experimental screen. That's the one I play with before our Rabbit Hole Fridays to see if there's anything worth talking about. All right. Yesterday, tough slogging in the morning. Yesterday's trading came all kind of early, well, late in the afternoon. As you can see, the market rallying a little bit higher into the close. Here we are continuing with the rally. We're finally getting that bullish breakout above this trend line that we've identified. Difficult trading overall, though. Very, very quiet day. Last couple of days have been like that. What's interesting to me is that this bullish breakout bar had increasing volume to it. Now, it's not huge volume, relative to what it has been, but it is a little bit higher. So suggestive that maybe the breakout will stick. We shall see. Right now, out of the open, we got a couple of ticks higher. In fact, those of you who like your first in-sync signal du jour, we got one right here on the Raptor. A nice little number one signal higher. And it looks like we got a bit of a second push opportunity on that. I'm not keen on early signals, but here you go. There's our first in-sync Raptor signal of the day. Let me get this out of the way. Remember, with your trade calculator, your orders are live when you put them on. All right. I bring my stops back a little bit. Now, ideally, we want to keep our stops 2 swings back. This would be swing 1. Down here is swing 2. That's a little bit out of reach, so I'm going to go about halfways. And again, what we're looking for here is some early momentum. It is Friday. Fridays can be a little bit spotty. Last week we did our Rabbit Hole Friday. This Friday we're trading. Next Friday we'll look at doing another Rabbit Hole session. Getting ready to roll my stops to break even. If I can get one more bullish bar here, then we'll be about 3/4 of the way to the profit objective and a good excuse to roll the stops up. All right, close enough. All right. So able to capitalize on some of that early momentum. Nice little push higher. And there's probably some room in this, seeing how we're already in the secondary resistance zones. Ooh, the next one, 78.82 and change. would be a very, very strong rally day. I'm not sure we're going to see that much on a Friday, but hey, stranger things have happened. One moment here while I fix up my Raptor. I'm having a little trouble with my trader view. So there's my one good trade in already. As my charts reload. Oh, come on. Oh, Aspen, yes, Aspen's, you asked me a question yesterday. What settings did you need me to show you? Oh, yes, the Bollingers. Yes, the Bollinger Band Suite, absolutely. Yeah, don't worry, I'll give you plenty of time to make notes. Wow, this is brutal. It's all my open software. Okay, now the chart's got to catch up here. Okay, I think everything's current. This indicator here at the bottom, as I pointed out the other day, is the Bollinger Band Suite. This is an add-on indicator from Indicator Warehouse. I liked it so much one of our Rabbit Hole Fridays that I decided to keep it on my other charts. All right, so Aspen's asking about the setup. I think I pretty much went with the defaults. So with the Bollinger, you have all kinds of different signal parameters to choose from. I think the default is the MACD main. And the standard, the settings for that are just your standard settings. If you got that screenshot, Aspen, I'll roll down here a little bit. Yeah, these are all cosmetic down here. So not really anything to adjust other than the colors in that. There is a Bollinger, oh yeah, here the Bollinger period is 10 with a standard deviation of 1. Which is about half of the norm. I do believe that the Bollinger norm is 20 periods and a standard deviation of 2. Feel free to experiment. Yeah, Aspen's asking you use MACD, not stochastics. Like I said, I've gone with the defaults. So yeah, I'm using the MACD. You could put the stochastics on there. Like I said, feel free to experiment. You have all these different tools to play with. Rate of change, CCI, AO, I forget which oscillator that is. TSI, RSI, stochastics. So each one will give you kind of a different look at the marketplace. MACD is great for trends, I think. We did do MACD on one of our Rabbit Hole Fridays also. If you need to see that again, Aspen, just ask me. I'll pull it up for you. Okay, and nice little bit of follow through on that first in sync signal on the Raptor. Let's see if we can bookend that with another one. Tom says, just got started using the Ichimoku study. Very good. That's one that we could do a Rabbit Hole Friday on. Ichimoku clouds, totally forgot about them. They're kind of fun to play with. Okay, it looks like the market's got an uptrend. I'm going to call it. I'm going to say it. Market's got an uptrend. So now that we have an uptrend, we can look for a pullback. Trading band up to 50 ticks, 51 ticks. Ooh, okay, pushing 60 ticks. This tends to mean the market's a little bit overbought. And a move, if we get a reversal signal here now, if we get a number 2 signal, especially if we get a 232 style signal, we can almost bet dollars to donuts that the market will make a move back here toward the hard edge. The broader this trading band becomes, the more likely a reversal will occur. One of our members, I think it was Jim, he liked this setup so much when the trading band got overbought, he would short the first bear bar. So let me show you what that is like. If we get a bear bar. So whenever the cloud started to get certainly above 60 ticks, he would be chomping at the bit to start to short it. He wouldn't even wait for a signal. He would just take the first bear bar. Like I said, very, very aggressive. Okay. All right, there's the first bear bar. And I think, if memory serves, he would try to take it back to the hard edge. He would look for a big retrace at this point. This is not something that I tend to do. If I'm going to do a reverse, I will actually look for the signal. He did keep the trade fairly tight. I do remember that. Ooh, look at that move. Well, that's probably why I never did that. See here, now we actually have the proper reverse signal. We actually produce the signal and the market starts heading lower off of that. Well, that was interesting. That was the first time I've actually tried that. What Jim used to do. I don't know if there was something else he was watching, but something to bear in mind anyways, as your trading band becomes very broad, there may be a tendency for the market to reverse. Okay, here now we're back into the hard edge. I'm a little bit late on this signal. We did get a hard edge bounce, a red bar buy here on the Eagle. We got a trend change on the Falcon. We got a hard edge bounce here on the Raptor. What I would be looking for is a test of the extreme, a retest of this high. Let's see if we come back with another buy signal. Another hard edge bounce. Might be able to sneak a couple of dollars out of here as the market tries to retest the highs. Okay, I'm going to anticipate the order is going to print somewhere around there. We had the warning dot, no order print. This is, you could interpret this as a second push, even though it's quite removed from this signal here. By the way, the next signal that prints will be another number one signal. Your clouds went out of sync, they're back into sync. We've had a little bit of a pullback here. All right, they're not doing as expected, so we'll just throw that on the shelf for now. Now that we've initiated a pullback, really the best course of action is to wait it out, to wait the pullback out, to make sure the trend is going to try to resume. That means we're probably going to see the market move back a little bit further before it tries to go higher. Well, there was a little flurry there. Now we're kind of slowing again. Holding the lows, which is good. Well, it looks like we're probably going to see at least a little bit of a poke up. Like I said, normally we see a bit of a test of the extreme before the market tries to make a bit of a reverse. While we're waiting, just a reminder that no trading room on Monday. All right, we got a number one signal here on the Raptor. We're getting a trend change on the Falcon, a first micro macro cross actually on the Hawk, and we have another hard edge bounce here on the Eagle. So everything's in sync for a possible move higher. Okay, a little bit of an uptick. This now very likely the test of the extreme that we were anticipating. Right, so this is the extreme. This is the buyer's attempt to rally the market higher. If this fails, then we can actually look to short it. Excuse me. All right, let's consider this. We're going to get the Raptor is going to be one of the faster ones with a counter trend signal here. We actually printed a counter trend signal, so I'm going to treat this low here as a second push opportunity. You see, you can't see it very well, but we do have the arrow, the triangle, meaning that the hash mark did print and the signal did engage. So a nice little second push opportunity below this little swing low. The trend, the overall trend is still up though. So this is definitely a counter trend trade, which increases the overall riskiness of the trade. Bollingers are in sync to the short side. We'll see if that holds. Okay, well, they continue to push higher, so we're gonna still retesting that extreme point. Hasn't failed yet. Oh, there we go. See, I look away, now I get my number 2 signal. So let's get back here. Throw the number 2 signal in there. Come on. A little bit of a pushback from the hard edge. All right, getting the little number 3 pushback. I hate counter trend trades. I don't know why I even try them. Wow, the bull's not giving it up. If we can take out, say, this swing low right here, not this first swing low, but the second swing low, there's a very good chance the market will retreat, as we're making a very serious test of the extreme now. Easier to see here on the eagle. So this our trend, this our pullback, this now the retest. And if the market fails at this point by getting below this low right here, it will probably, realistically, try to retest the low, and we're going to develop a bit of a sideways trading range. So, you know, I'm looking to take profit about halfway there, but there is room to take the market lower. I think 78.65 is probably a reasonable zone. But this is, because it's counter trend, I'll take my profit if I can get it. The reason being, very often when the market has made a trend and it hits this little sideways scenario, we expect the market to resume the trend. So again, that's what makes counter trend trading so difficult, so risky. Hey, way to go, Ray. Ray says, I scalped the number one signal, got $100, and my day is done. Well done. Yeah, that's all you need. You know, the consistency is key. Without consistency, well, you can't make money. And you can just see how neutral the market is. Again, not unusual for Friday. Bollinger's maybe, oh, I was about to say maybe to sneak out of the bottom end of the trading range. No, not to happen. The evils of counter trend trading right there. The only good thing about a counter trend trade is you know where you need to keep your stop loss. So you're trading a smaller, tighter trade for a lower probability of success. There's always a trade-off. Maybe that's why it's called trading. All right, well, we'll wait for a proper pullback now. Yeah, you see, now that they've retested the highs, they've picked up a few more sellers, and they may like the idea of moving lower now. Stinkers. Well, you could, I don't know. Do we want to call this a breakout? Did it even break out? No, well, just tag the high. Doggone it, Eric. You had your stops maybe a little bit too tight. You could put a just in case order to buy up here. Even though we didn't really break out, normally we look for this type of deal where we break out, we retest, and then we look to buy. It's the same kind of thing that's happening, but it's happening early. So there's the attempt at the breakout, there's the retest. The idea being that the next move higher will actually have some follow through to it. By the same token, you can call this the retest. You could put a just in case order to short down there. Now, again, I'm getting, really aggressive on the trades at this point. But it is a doable trade. Here we go. That is a perfectly viable trade right there. But look at how neutral everything is. It's Friday. Look at that. We're just kind of hovering. Well, like I said, this is typical for a Friday. We'll probably close up the room here at the bottom of the hour. I don't think we're going to be missing very much. Except for the rally out of the open, the market really has not been doing very much today. We had these first 20 minutes of excitement, and after that, nothing. No, there we go, backing off again. Well, like I said, the one thing, we do have the market in a bit of a bind. We have seen an attempt to move the market higher, and that failed. So if they continue lower from here, there's every reason to expect the market to head a little bit lower. In fact, if you want to be ultra aggressive, you could pinch the market like so. Normally, I like to see 2 bars counter rather than just one. But we do have the market in a place where they have to decide. All right, let's see if we get a little bit of a follow through on the trade now. Now we're working another number 3 signal here on the Raptor. We've got a plethora of trend change signals here on the Falcon. I'm going to keep the trade tight because if there's no upside momentum on this breakout, I don't want to stay in this trade. They're trying. Got a little ways to go. If we can, say, get above this high, above 78.91, probably see a little bit of buying push through. Certainly enough to get to our profit target, I would think. Oh, actually, my profit target needs to be adjusted. There we go. I'm just going to go for the 5 ticks, and if I could add, there we are. So it's election season here in Canada. Advanced polls open today. I'll probably go cast my vote. Problem is, living in Western Canada, unlike the Western United States, I like to remind my politically minded friends that our vote really doesn't count. half of Canada's population lives in the 200-mile corridor from Windsor, Ontario, which is southern Ontario, to Montreal. That's where half of Canada's population lives. And as a result, the government is usually decided between the provinces of Ontario and Quebec. And those of us here in Western Canada, well, we just get to elect someone to a nice cushy job. But I feel if I don't go vote, I can't complain about the government. So there you go. Aspen, I live in on Vancouver Island in British Columbia. Yay! Well, got a little bit of follow through there. Yeah, I live in, oh yeah, Aspen says, escaping snow. Yeah, Aspen, you and I are neighbors. I grew up in Leduc, born and raised, so I know all about winter. Central Alberta, Leduc, on more than one occasion, was the coldest place on the planet. And I do believe I was working outside one of those days. Yeah, now we're in a little town just north of Victoria on the south end of Vancouver Island. And it suits me just fine. And on that note, I think we're going to close up shop here. If you are going to hang out for more fun and frivolity today, you probably can anticipate another pullback somewhere through here. And what I'm getting at is, now that we've officially breached this trading range, we have the breakout. We'll get another retest, at which time you could probably throw your just in case order to buy up there. Not yet. We don't have the 2 bars counter. And then when you get the retest, you'll be able to throw your just in case order to sell down there. And hopefully get another profitable trade. All right, boys and girls, have a great weekend. I will see you again on Tuesday. I'll talk to you then. Bye for now.